Talked to him in a while.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's City Council meeting for the City of Casa Grande. Our first order of business is, number one, I'll call the meeting to order, and then second, we have our invocation with Pastor Elgin tonight. Thank you, Pastor, for being here, and then please remain standing, and Lisa will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. I think we can all agree on this evening and for tomorrow, the nation could use our prayers. And I think that it's incumbent to us to recognize that God loves each one of us more than the sum of our political beliefs. Pray with me, please. Father God, I ask for peace for our nation on Tuesday and the days following. I ask for your peace to be upon all of our hearts as you will direct our voting and our words, our deeds, and actions. All authority comes from you, the Apostle Paul tells us, so help us to turn to you for your will to be done. Be upon all poll workers and election officials, all candidates, and all of those voting, all who have already voted. Impress us with the responsibility that we have living in a powerful and free nation. Let us cherish those freedoms tempered with righteousness and self-control. Now bless this council meeting and its work, and may all of it be done to your glory. In the name of Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Lisa. Let the roll call show that all council members are present. The next item is claims against, or actually it's the minutes from the City Council regular meeting, C1. Mr. Powell? Yeah.
Okay, I finally found it here.
We're all waiting for him.
Yeah. Okay.
We're creatures of habit.
Mayor McFarland. I'm late to the game. I would like to move that we approve the City Council regular meeting minutes from October 19th as they're presented, and that's it for tonight.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. Claims against the city, D1.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the claims of October 14th through October 27th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, claims are approved. Meeting agenda approval. Does staff have any changes? Larry? We have none, Mr. Mayor. Anybody on the council? All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So move.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the meeting agenda is approved as presented. Next are our consent agenda items. All items listed with an asterisk are considered routine matters and will be enacted by one motion, one roll call vote of the council. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or member of the public so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence of the agenda. Does anybody have anything you want to remove from the consent agenda? Okay, seeing none, then I will...
Mayor McFarland, I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Gloria, can I please get a roll call vote?
Councilmember Huddleston.
Yes.
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Herman.
Yes.
Councilmember Cortson.
Yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Fitzgibbons.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. All right, next item on our agenda is item I, award of contracts. First item on the agenda is consider ordinance number 3240. Chief, it's you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. I appreciate allowing me to be here tonight to talk to you about our purchase. We're requesting to purchase 70 new self-contained breathing apparatus cylinders for the fire department, such as the one you see right here in Scott Piper's hands and the one you see on his back. Flip around. There you go. This cylinder or bottle fits into that harness back there. The one that he has on is what's considered a 45-minute bottle. It really only lasts 30 minutes, depending on your body size. Smaller people, it'll last 45 minutes, but
Or
most
how
people
excited
last.
you get.
Say again?
Or how excited you get.
Yeah, I mean, if you're exerting yourself, I mean, they call them 45-minute bottles. I don't know anybody who makes them last 45 minutes. This is a 60-minute bottle. We use these for hazardous material calls, stuff where you're not in there working super hard, but you may be in there doing something technical, trying to shut up a valve or something like that on a hazardous material call. And this is firefighter Leos right there. You'll recognize the name. This is the good Leos. This is Scott Pieper. You guys know Mindy, his wife that works at the Parks Department. And also, Scott took the engineer's exam this week, and he came out #1 on the list. So
All right, congratulations.
So he'll be an engineer. He'll be an engineer this Saturday.
All right.
Excellent.
These cylinders or bottles go back in our air packs. We call them air packs, or they're also called SCBAs, which is self-contained breathing apparatus. And you'll also see Firefighter Leos has a combination of all the gear that you have to have on before you make entry to an IDLH environment. IDLH environment is immediate death and life hazard. That's a classification that's given by NIOSH, the safety people, on a national level. And they basically establish levels of, or thresholds that you can withstand to breathe. And they do it for individual chemicals. They also do it for carbon monoxide and other things. But that right there is the whole package. That is everything he has to have on to go into a house fire.
Wow.
And then obviously he also has a hose with some water in it. And he'd be dressed the same way also. Scott's a little less casual now that he's going to be an engineer, I guess. And to comply with federal law, obviously, we have to have this ensemble on. You can't not have part of this on. Like when I first came on the job 30 years ago, we didn't wear these pants during the day. We would just wear our regular pants during the day and throw our coat on. And a lot of the things we did back in the old days were dumb. And a lot of stuff's changed. Like I know a lot of you have been very upfront and helpful with the cancer issues involving firefighters. Obviously, everybody knows firefighters get cancer at a much higher rate. And it's starting to come to light a lot of the reasons that they get cancer, like prostate cancer. They get prostate cancer because this area is exposed and stuff comes up here. Get throat and thyroid cancer because this hood and this area up here. So a lot of those things are coming to light. That thing right there is his personal alerting device. If you hold still, if he gets knocked out or falls down, and he doesn't move for a minute, you'll hear that noise. And as he doesn't move, it gets louder and louder and louder, so that if he falls down in the fire, somebody will hear that noise and come over and grab him and drag him out, hopefully. That's
No, wait a
you.
minute.
That's you.
Let's,
You get to drag him out.
Yeah.
So the only reason I thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of show you guys.
great.
That's the boots, the pants, the coat, the hood, the helmet. He's got gloves on, SCBA, all the necessary items. And you guys know, because you guys write the checks for this stuff, that's all expensive stuff. He's wearing about $5,000 worth of gear, and he's got an $8,000 pack on his back there. So, you know, all told, that's about a $13,000 package right there. I don't even know if Leos has a car worth that much, do you? That's basically the soft goods that he's wearing. All the soft goods, the stuff that touches his skin, is his. He's the only one that wears that. SCBAs are everybody's. Next shift, when Piper switches seats with him, that breathing apparatus is his now. The only thing that's unique to them on the breathing apparatus is the mask. Obviously, we don't make people share masks, but we used to do that also. So now everybody has their own individual mask. All this equipment's designed to help prevent cancer, and like I said, I know you guys have been very, very helpful. This year, you guys funded a second set of turnouts. That was a big deal, because, you know, you go to a house fire, and it's not uncommon. You go to a house fire, and when you get back to the station, in the old days, we'd go back to the station, and it was cool to not clean your turnouts. You wanted to look all dirty and look like you'd been a firefighter for 20 years. Now, they are really very efficient, and they clean their turnouts out right away. As soon as they're done, they clean them. But it's not fun to go back to the station to put those in a washing machine, or our extractors that take all the bad stuff out, and now another fire comes in and doesn't have any turnouts. That's what the whole second set of turnouts thing were. And I know you guys all heard a lot about that, and you guys spoke very positively about that, and we did get that funded this year. Thank you. Our current SCBA's and some of our cylinders were purchased in 2007, and they were purchased on a firefighter's assistance grant that we got. We had some existing bottles at the time, but our entire SCBA inventory was replaced with these. They're 13, 14 years old now at this point. They're only good for 15
They
years.
look pretty beat up.
What's that?
They look pretty beat up.
They are, and well, they get beat up because they get used a lot. I mean, this goes in every fire that they go to. What I'm here to talk to you guys specifically about is the bottles. So that was a big ask this year for us to replace all of our SCBA's, and typically we reapplied for that same grant, but typically the feds won't give you another grant for something they already had funded previously. They kind of have a belief that once you get that item, a big ticket item like that, it's now the municipality's responsibility to fund that. So they did deny it, and we'll keep applying. But what we're doing tonight is we have about 116 bottles that are beyond service life. They're good for 15 years. We have some that are in the 13 to 15 year range that now can't be serviced anymore, they can't be repaired, and when we send them in for testing, they don't pass the test. So kind of as a stopgap measure, we're asking to purchase 70 of the 45-minute bottles. And that's going to hold us over. We're kind of waiting to see what happened with the revenues because of the pandemic and stuff, and we'll be coming back to you, I'm sure, later this year to talk to you about the SCBA issue. But that's kind of where we're at. This is a sole source purchase. We have to use Scott air bottles because it's a Scott air pack. We can't mix and match. There's not mixing and matching. All the companies are pretty unique. You got to use their bottle. So that's why it's a sole source purchase from MSA. They're the supplier of Scott air packs here in Arizona. Lastly, I really wanted to say, this isn't a nice to have item. This is an absolutely necessary item. We cannot do our jobs without these. It's how we keep our firefighters safe. It's how we allow them to go in and save people and put out fires in houses. So that's basically it. Thank you for allowing us this time. That concludes my presentation, and I'm prepared to answer any questions that you guys might have.
Mr. Powell?
I just want to say that's probably the most impressive presentation I've seen since, I just hope you don't go for a fire truck, because I don't think it's gonna fit in here.
It's a good idea. We'll make sure these parking spots are available. We'll get one out there. I kind of felt it was important. I know we come in here and throw these terms at you, like, you guys voted on the life pack a few minutes ago. And
Yeah.
it was on the consent agenda, so we didn't bother with that. But I know most of you guys know what it is, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally something the size of a suitcase that costs $40,000. But
Yeah.
that one item we use on every single medical call, and then
Yeah.
it saves people's lives. It's what we use to monitor and do EKGs, and we shock them when their heart stops, and it restarts their heart. So it's important stuff.
Chief, what was the total cost of the 70?
For this, $91,000 and $91,967.26.
Okay, thank you.
They're about $1,200. Each of these bottles is about $1,200.
Okay.
They're wrapped in carbon and carbon fiber, and they're very, very light because obviously it's hard to work in this ensemble.
Yeah, it would be hard working without the tank on your back.
Yeah.
Those fit into the, actually fit into the seat of the
That's a
engine,
good question. For years, we did have them in the seats, and we're now moving to a new thing with the new fire engines you guys bought last year. It's called a clean cab concept. So we don't take anything into the cab
Okay.
where we ride that goes into fires. So they're now back out in a cabinet on the side of the rig. We do have apparatus that still have them in the seat, but all of our future purchases will have the breathing apparatus and even the safety gear we used to carry. I mean, when I was young, you know, our safety gear, we sat on it. I mean, it was in the rig with us. They don't carry anything in the rig with them now. It's all in exterior compartments so that they're not breathing.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
a
when I
good
came
idea.
on, we'd go to bed, and we'd take our boots off and put them right next to the bed. Well, they figured out that's not good. You're breathing that in while you're sitting there sleeping. So they don't do any of this stuff. It makes me feel kind of old, but that's basically what it is.
Anybody have any questions?
No, I appreciate the
Donna, go ahead.
demonstration.
Just a quick one. On the cylinders, how do we dispose of the ones that are no longer good, or do you just give them back
I
to the
don't know.
company?
I'll let you know. I don't know. My guess is they cut, this valve comes off. And once this comes off, if there's no air in them, you can unscrew that. Once that comes off, they're not any good. But we don't donate them.
I'm guessing we don't get a trade-in, right?
No, we don't get a trade-in. We don't donate them to anybody. We don't, like, that was another thing in the old days. We used to give all of our stuff to Mexico to use, and we don't do any of that anymore just because of the liability for the city.
Bob, you had a question?
Yeah, is it cost prohibitive to go ahead with the 60-minute tanks instead of the 45s?
The only problem with the 60-minute ones is they are substantially heavier.
Okay,
And honestly, we don't want them to be in there working on a fire for 60 minutes straight, because they wouldn't last 60 minutes. When they
okay,
come outside at 30 minutes, they're spent and they're done for. They go to rehab for a few minutes and get back on their feet, and
okay,
we take when they go to rehab, we take vital signs, they get a little water. But
Okay.
yeah, 60-minute bottles are tough. When I used to be in USAR years ago, we would use those when we did like confined space stuff, and crawling around in a confined space for 60 minutes, when you came out, you were done.
yeah.
And we don't have that many firefighters here, so we don't have the ability to do sustained operations for that long.
And also, do we have the equipment to recharge those at every station?
No, we have an apparatus, or utility, which is due to be replaced, but we've put that off. That has the ability to charge the bottles. And we also have a portable unit that we keep out at 503s. It's a portable trailer that was purchased on a Prop 202 grant
Okay.
a long time ago. I don't know, how long ago was that bought?
Okay.
Yeah, so, but yeah, we do have the ability to fill those.
Okay.
And those units are able to be brought, if we had a fire scene where we were there for an extended period of time, the utility's always there, and we could bring that trailer out also.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Chief.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
coming.
guys.
Appreciate
you.
it.
Appreciate the demonstration.
Yeah. I was
All right.
worried he was gonna run out.
Yeah, he almost used his 30 minutes.
I was watching.
Can I get an ordinance number, please, Gloria?
Ordinance number 3240, an ordinance of the council of the city of Casa Grande, Arizona, accepting the sole source provider offer from Municipal Emergency Services, Inc., to provide 70 Scott self-contained breathing apparatus cylinders, authorizing expenditure of public funds, and authorizing the execution of a contract.
Mayor McFarland, I move for the passage of ordinance number 3240 as presented.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Gloria, can I please get a roll call vote?
Councilmember Huddleston.
Yes?
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Herman.
Yes.
Councilmember Courtson.
Yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Fitzgibbons.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. All right, next item is I-2, ordinance number 3241. Mr. Kevin.
Let's see him top that one.
And because this is a wastewater project, I did not bring any visual aids. You're welcome. Staff recommends that the mayor and city council authorize a contract with Alpha Laval Incorporated in an amount of $112,882, plus a $16,000 contingency, for a total not to exceed $128,882. This contract is to basically provide some needed repair in our solids handling facility. This is programmed repairs. The equipment is over 10 years old, kind of like changing tires, changing oil. This is what we're doing in our solids handling facility. We're going to be doing 1 gravity belt thickener and 3 of the belt filter presses and all the components that help move those parts. A lot of moving parts, a lot of wearing parts, and we've started to see an increase in both breakdowns as well as our efficiency of our equipment. So this will be a new refresher for us. We did procure this as a sole source, as Alpha Laval is the manufacturer and the only ones allowed to work on this equipment and provide those parts. So this was done as a sole source and was budgeted for. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions? All right, seeing none, then I'll entertain a ordinance number, please, Gloria.
Ordinance number 3241, an ordinance of the council of the city of Casa Grande, Arizona, accepting a sole source provider proposal from Alpha Laval, Inc. to provide solids handling, maintenance, and repairs for the city's water reclamation facility, authorizing expenditure of public funds, and authorizing the execution of a contract.
Mayor McFarland, I move for approval of ordinance number 3241 as presented.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Gloria, can I please get a roll call vote?
Councilmember Huddleston.
Yes.
Councilmember McBride.
Yes.
Councilmember Herman.
Yes.
Councilmember Cortson.
Yes.
Councilmember Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Fitzgibbons.
Yes.
Mayor McFarland.
Yes. All right, next item is item J1. This is consider approving the reappointment of Stephen Hartwell to the Airport Advisory Board. I did have a chance to meet with Stephen. He is interested in being reappointed, so his name has been put forward to the council and awaits your approval.
Mayor McFarland, I move for the reappointment of Stephen Hartwell to the Airport Advisory Board.
Second.
All right, and I do want to just publicly thank Stephen Hartwell for his time and service with the city, so thank you, Stephen.
Absolutely.
It's been moved and seconded. Can I get actually, I don't need to. I can just get an approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Stephen has been reappointed. Next item on the agenda is our reports. So I'm going to start to the right here. Lisa, with you.
You know, I really don't have anything, but I just wanted to remind everyone tomorrow's election day, and hopefully we'll all be safe and just go cast our vote. And, you know, I mean, I'm proud of our community. I mean, I think we've done pretty well, even when there's been, you know, just conflicts and everything. So I'm really hoping the community stays, you know, calm and whatever the outcome is, but definitely get out and vote. But I just wanted to, and Larry, you know, I know the police department has a plan to make sure they're going out in the community and making sure that the polls are safe and the workers and everything, but I'm sure it's going to be okay. But just remind everyone to vote tomorrow.
Thank you, Lisa. Mr. Powell?
I had a call today from some constituents that are, it's referring to the I-11, and it goes through quite a bit of property there, and one of them would have their house torn down, part of another one torn down, and some others, and she's wondering who she talks to, and I said, I know our mayor has got some connections, and I know that it kind of discouraged any discussion about I-11 last time it was up, but they've been there a long time. They've got a beautiful place. Serranos are just down from them, and England's house, I think, would be torn down completely, the ones that are out there. So what they were hoping is that they would choose the alternative that goes up Montgomery Road, which seems to make sense, all the way from I-8 up instead of having to do the others. So hopefully that'll get done. But does she need to call anybody? Or is that-
ADOT. She can go online and actually look up I-11 under ADOT's website, and there's opportunities for her to give input on that website.
Okay.
And if she can't find it, have her give her my cell number.
Well, and she will give you a full load when she gets,
I'll help her find it.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Powell.
Oh, you bet.
Mary?
I don't have a whole lot, except that this morning we filmed a little video. Unfortunately, we can't have our Veterans Parade that we've been doing for many, many years, and that's really unfortunate because it was such a great day to celebrate. And it's the young and the old. I mean, we're celebrating 18-year-olds all the way up to 98, 100-year-old veterans, and that. So that was kind of a sad thing, but I appreciate the opportunity that we all had, and the mayor doing a good job to express to all our veterans that we are celebrating you. We may not be able to do it in a parade on the streets this year, but just take a look. The website's going to have where you can see the video and different presentations that different people are making on that. So hopefully next year we'll have a bigger and better parade.
Thank you, Mary. Matt?
I saw the new billboard for the rec center over by the rodeo grounds, in front of the rodeo grounds. It's nice, and I saw that it was produced by a local company too, so I was pretty excited about that. Nice looking, so thanks, Larry. That's all the great news I have today. Just, we're gonna be okay after tomorrow, no matter what.
Yeah.
Donna?
I don't know whether we mentioned it before or not at our meeting last time, but I just wanted to give a shout out to Joanne Kramer and Palo Verde Elementary School, who got the A+ rating. That is a big contribute to our community. Also, I had a downtown merchant that contacted me this week wanting to find out what she could do to help. She had a customer that had been homeless living in his car for a year. And so I gave her the information for CG Helps, but before I could offer anything else, Wendy Lloyd and Thomas Anderson from the police department had already went down there. They got him help, they got him a room. Cara is working with him to get him a place to live. And I think that, you know, a lot of times people forget that the downtown merchants, they do more than we think, and I thought that was a really good gesture on Mary Ann's part from the cookie jar, that she took it upon herself to, you know, and then she followed up with me that afternoon and just said how proud she was of our city for being an active partner and helping, you know, find solutions, and she was really proud to be part of our community and be part of downtown, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then the other thing is that Chief Keene is here, and I will say that the Casa Grande Fire Department has an app. We've all heard about Pulse Point, and there is a challenge for as many people in Casa Grande to sign up for it, I think, and through next Friday, and I had said that, you know, as many people that signed up for it, that I would throw in a gift certificate, and he also did that, so we've got a couple gift certificates going out to, you know, our community, trying to get people to get signed up for that. And I think we've had some pretty good numbers coming in the last 24 hours, so what people won't do for food, so that's it.
Bob?
Just to echo what Lisa said about get out and vote. What a wonderful country we live in, that we get to elect all of our leaders, and just encourage everybody to get out and exercise that right tomorrow. Mayor, I also want to thank you for meeting with Councilmember McBride and I earlier about water issues. It's been a full day with the presentation from Arizona Water and then meeting with you earlier. I have even higher respect for you and Mr. Powell for digging in deep on that issue. I feel like I maybe got the tip of my toe wet today, but anxious to learn more. So it's a big issue. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Bob. Just on my part, just want to make sure everybody knows we've got PPE equipment and the reimbursement that the city will do. Please go online. If you know any businesses, you know, even churches, some nonprofits, anybody who's spent money on personal protection equipment, including plexiglass, other things, you know, to keep people separated. Anything they had to do to protect their community from the COVID spread. So please make sure they go online. Also, the Mayor's Roundtable, we just announced on Path to Trades, which is really a working program with the city and the high school district, as well as one of our plumbing academies here in town. So check it out. It's online. It's on November 18th from 1:20 to 2:55, and I'm not sure why he was being creative in the time that he set up, but it'll be a WebEx, so it's open to builders, developers, suppliers, anybody who works in the trades. If there's educators that are interested, we'll also entertain that. So I've got a bunch of other stuff, but I'm not going to do it because I said we'd get done at 7:30, and so we were done. Does anybody have anything else?
Oh, my gosh.
All right. Meeting adjourned.